So here's my tank. It's a 150 gallon planted tank. What you can see is a lot of my little fish. It's all community. Yeah. The plants I cut back about 2 months ago and they weren't really growing really well, so I actually looked into a DIY CO2 system. And for a 150 gallon tank, it is very hard to find a setup. So what I had to do was look at what people have been using, which is usually the 2-liter bottles with, DIY setup. And I actually was able to expand that into a 5 gallon, which is 18 liters. And these are just your normal water bottles that you see from Culligan or anything like that. And then I used the little black stopper there. I did use a cork one originally. That's this thing here, and it failed horribly. It just wouldn't keep a good seal, and it just kind of created a mess down here for a little bit until that all got fixed. I originally used an air stone too, which was nice, but the bubbles were coming out kind of big until I saw something on YouTube about hooking up one of these little water circulators, and this one actually came off of my UV pump, and I no longer run it. I didn't really need to. I don't have much of an algae issue anymore, and if you can look closely, we'll see if it shows up on camera, and it doesn't really, but I have the airline going right into the outlet, and as it does that, this is a powerful enough pump that it actually kicks the water up, breaks those bubbles up. You can, they're all pretty small that you can see them coming out there. And it does produce a fair amount of CO2. I only used one yeast pack that you just get from the supermarket, and 10 pounds of sugar, and I filled the rest up with water and activated it. It's been running for about 2 weeks now. It's been going pretty solid. And really since then I've been getting a lot of new plant growth after I cut everything back. I think I cut it back too far last time and it just didn't want to come back, and now this stuff is really starting to take off in the last week. So I'm kind of psyched about that. One of the reasons I don't have a UV system anymore is I actually have clams in my tank. Don't know how much they do for algae control, but they're at least something different. And the tank's been pretty good so far. I haven't lost any fish recently, except I did lose one in the filter because I didn't have that sponge on to protect it